Alright, so Vengeance was definitely back with a vengeance. What's going on, guys? So I'm gonna back at it again in here for another audio video for you guys for today, and that's why I am in here for my WWE Vengeance 2011 review. And before I get into the actual review in itself, of course, I want to thank each and every one of you guys for coming in for the Vengeance pre-show. Of course, we had the Vengeance retrospective, which basically went into past Vengeance pay-per-views, getting you guys ready for the return of Vengeance, and then we had our last minute predictions and last minute thoughts about Flugoring and whatever else we got to talk about in the world of professional wrestling that happened the week going into Vengeance and stuff like that. So we didn't get to talk about that and whatever else we didn't get to finish for the last previous show, which was for Bound for Glory. So, of course, I made up for one hell of a show, and I want to thank each and every one of you guys who were able to come on in. And, hopefully, we'll see you guys once again for the next pre show, which will be for Turning Point. So, that's it when it comes to that. But overall, I thought it was a good show for Vengeance and the return. Hopefully, we get to see Vengeance come back for the next years to come, and we kick things off in a great way. We had a great opener for the Tag Team Championships, which were on the line. We got Airboom, Kofi Kingston, and Everborn taking out American Perfection, Dolph Ziggler, and Jack Swagger in this one. And this was one of two matches for not Jack Swagger, but Dolph Ziggler in this one. Of course, also defending the United States Championship match, which was right after that. But with the opener, I think it was a good opener, and I was really into it. And we saw a lot of good double teams, and a lot of good back and forth work and good chemistry work by both of these teams here. So I made up for a good match. And with my prediction, I was going with American Perfection, but fortunately, that actually did not happen. And American Perfection ended up losing, and Kofi and Evan Bourne ended up retaining this one. And so that's it basically when it comes to that. So the tag team champions ended up retaining, and then we move on to the second match of the night. We got the United States Championship match, and this one we had Zack Ryder. That's right, Zack Ryder looking to have his first ever singles championship match, and facing against Dolph Ziggler. So basically, Ziggler doing double duty, and this one actually made up for a pretty good match. I was, going into this one, I thought it was going to be a pretty quick match, but we got a good amount of time. We saw some pretty good things by Zack Ryder in this one, looking to really take out Dolph Ziggler. And this thing has been building up for a while, so made up for a pretty good match. And in the end, Dolph Ziggler, that's why he ends up retaining overall. And I kind of thought Ryder was gonna win this one and become United States champion for the first time, but fortunately that didn't happen. So maybe at the next pay-per-view or something like that, or on the Raw or SmackDown, we see Zack Ryder get a singles championship run. So unfortunately, it wasn't Zack Ryder's night, but I give it to Dolph Ziggler. Having to do double duty with that. So that's it when it came to that. Then we get into the Divas Championship match. We got Beth Phoenix against Eve. And this one, I was really impressed how this turned out, especially some of the things that we saw from Eve. So I made up for a good match. And Eve trying to prove herself that she really wants the Divas Championship once again. And this was just a flat out singles match. We didn't see Natalia or Kelly in this one at all. Now, running things out a little briefly, what we did get to see. We see the headlock here as well as the brawl on the top rope. We see the enziguri here, a couple of leg submissions as well, and the good chemistry work basically by both of these two. So Eve really doing her best, and I give her props to that. So in the end, Beth Phoenix, yes, does end up retaining here, and is still the Divas Championships champion. So I made up for a good Divas match, and was pretty impressed. So that's it when it comes to that. Then we get into, which is not a number one contenders match, but we got Christian against Sheamus in this one, and this one was a good match. Of course, I was going with my boy Christian 100% in this one, and it would have been in a way better for this to be in a number one contendership matchup, but it is what it is, and it still made out for a good match between these two. And, with this one, running things down a little briefly, what we did get to see here, of course, the good back and forth work by these two. We see the back body drop, the scoop slam, as well as the slaps here. We see the missile kick, and at one point we almost saw the bro kick, and the spear almost two times, but in the end, Sheamus actually gets the win here and defeating Christian. I thought it would have made more sense to have Christian get his vengeance after losing to Sheamus, but that didn't happen, so it is what it is with that. So Sheamus ends up getting the win, and that ended up being a good match overall. So nothing really too much to complain about, but it would have made more sense, and would have been more better to me to have Christian get the win. But he will get his vengeance once again. Maybe at the next pay-per-view, which will be Survivor Series. So we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen with that. So that's it when it comes down to Christian and Sheamus. Then we're going to into the tag team match. We got Triple H and CM Punk taking on the Awesome Truth in R-Truth and The Miz. And this one was a pretty good match. And with this one of the things that we did get to see a little briefly, we see the nice double teams here. The snap suplex and the pretty good chemistry work with CM Punk and Triple H actually doing pretty well here and trying to take out the Awesome Truth. And the Awesome Truth actually, actually doing pretty well in this match and actually coexisting with one another and not having any altercations with the referees. And right after that, we do get interference basically and a return, if you will, and that's why Kevin Nash does come out here and interfere in this match and basically having a no contest, if you will, with this one. So Kevin Nash getting the jackknife powerbomb to Triple H and sending him a message. So this whole thing with Kevin Nash and Triple H is seeming not to be over just yet. So it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen leading into Survivor Series. I'm sure Survivor Series is going to be a good show. So, it's definitely going to be one that you cannot miss. So, basically, we got a no contest with that one, and Kevin Nash coming back and interfering. And then we get into the non-title grudge match, if you will, Randy Orton against Cody Rhodes. And this one was a good match, one of my favorite matches. Of course, the opener was one of my favorite matches too of the night. So then we get into Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes and running things down a little briefly what we did get to see here. We see the back body drop here and the drop kick. At one point, almost it seemed like that Cody Rhodes was going to win here with the crossroads. We did get to see that. And almost, we also got to see the RKO by Cody Rhodes, but that was missed too as well. We see, Scoop Sam as well as the stomps here. Also in this one and the Alabama Slam by Cody Rhodes, but in the end, Randy Orton does get the defeat over Cody Rhodes in this one, and this one was a good match, so, I was pretty into it, and I kind of thought, Cody Rhodes was going to win this one overall, but, things turned around, so it made up for a good match, and Randy Orton, yes, does get the defeat over Cody Rhodes, so that's it when it came to that one. Then we get into the World Heavyweight Championship match, and this one we got Mark Henry against the Big Show. This one was okay. I wasn't really into it too much, but running things down a little briefly on what we did get to see in this match. Basically, the headlocks here, both guys trying to take out each other, and then towards the end of the match, we did get to see a little, history repeat itself, if you will. And they actually pulled Brock Lesnar and the Big Show here with the ring imploding by both of these guys, which is actually pretty crazy. And I kind of thought it was, over there and with the show, but the show still was able to continue, of course. So that's a good thing with that. But there was basically no winner with that one, and this one is looking to most likely continue into Survivor Series, I'm sure. So no really winner there, but it was an okay match, and history repeating itself was pretty crazy with the superplex from the top rope, and kind of brought me back into 2002. So that was a cool little moment there. Then we get into, of course, the main event, the WWE Championship Last Man Standing match at Butcher Del Rio against John Cena, and this one was a good main event, and we saw a lot in this one, and both of these guys actually wrestling in the imploded rings, so they did manage to make that work, and running things down to where we did get to see in the main event. We see the stomps here as well as the suplex and the big boot by Alberto Del Rio looking to really try and take out John Cena. Ricardo Rodriguez, we did get to see a couple of interferences by him and trying to help out Del Rio there, but unfortunately that basically failed each and every time that he tried to help Alberto Del Rio. We see them go into the backstage area trying to take out each other there. And we see a cool spot where the Vengeance sign is, by John Cena going through the Vengeance, the V sign. So that was actually a pretty nasty spot when it comes to that. We also see the backbreaker in this match, and as well, the brawl to the outside, the use of the steel steps. So, a lot going into this match, but in the end, That's right, Alberto Del Rio does get a defeat over John Cena, and John Cena unable to get out into the count of 10, so Del Rio retains and is still the WWE champion. So that's basically it when it comes to Vengeance overall and comes to close to Vengeance. And let me know what you guys thoughts on Vengeance overall, what you like, what you didn't like, what you thought could have been more done more differently, I should say. And once again, I want to thank each and every one of you guys for coming in for the Vengeance pre-show. Hopefully, we will see you guys for the Turning Point preview show, which will be happening within the next couple of weeks. So, once again, it should be another hell of a pre-show. And with that being said, let me know what you guys thoughts. Of course, do not be afraid to leave a comment. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts and opinions in the comment box. And feel free to leave a video response too if you will. So that about does it for my Vengeance 2011 review. And as always, of course, I will definitely most likely talk to you guys definitely later on. Peace.